And
Just have some beef tea.
Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new Celluroids. Now, wait, I'm just fucking
Why
stop.
are you saying brand new?
Because
Is there a change here?
No.
I put some underarm deodorant on.
I knew there was a change in you. I thought it was your eyes, but
You
no.
know this stuff, it's like a Mr. Potato Head, so when you turn the thing it comes out with the
yeah,
stuff.
Well, no, it's not that. This is brand new because your film choice for the last several months has been flawless. You've introduced me to new films.
Mhm.
I've been excited, I've cried, I've laughed. Well, none of these things. I have no emotions. But the point is, I've enjoyed them.
I trolled you on this one. This is what's called a palate cleanser.
No, a palate cleanser is neutral.
No, this is neutral. This is
We
not.
went from one of the best films I've ever seen
Well,
in my life
well,
last week to this.
Because I thought to myself, how can
God.
you follow one of the greatest films ever made?
Right. And
It's a palate cleanser. I'm sticking to this assertion. It's a palate cleanser.
okay,
There's a sadness to this film. This film likes to think it's
watching it.
No, this film likes to think it's bombastic, but it's a sadness because this was the turn of Schwarzenegger's career. This was a misstep. This was
Before we even begin, I'm going to blame this film on the end of his career. This film is to blame. And I'll get to that because there's actual moments that I could pick out.
Yeah.
But this is 1999's End of
It
Days.
was all the Millennium Bug. This was feeding into the zeitgeist of the time. This was very current.
Yeah, very current. And because of that, it's now 21 years dated.
More
22
Sultana
years.
than current. But it's like, yeah, they thought, the Millennium Bug is it's all fuse boxes. And there's a lot of technical people listening to this. It's all sprockets.
It's all sprockets.
This film it posits the notion, it's all religious. It's all religious. And I was drawn in. The premise is quite nice. It's an old chestnut.
No.
Satan walks amongst us.
No.
And he's good and evil. It's the old. It's the primal stuff. The black, the white, the zing, the zig, the zag, the zig, the zag,
The zig, the zag, the yin and yang you're looking for.
The yin and the yang.
No, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Universal.
Oh, it is. So
Proud
it's
traditional monsters. One of the best. This is up there with the creature from the Black Lagoon.
What?
Bela Lugosi's Dracula.
Oh my God! Listen,
Boris Karloff's Frankenstein.
You've come in here. You've had a coffee already. I can tell.
I've not had a coffee this morning.
I'm on my second coffee. But
how can you not? It begins
holding my
the
rage.
choir boys. The opening falsetto.
No,
and
predictable.
Then you have the scrolls. You like a good scroll.
I like a scroll. That's
and
true.
Is it vellum parchment?
Yes.
And it's like
no, there's
the names Arnold Schwarzenegger. I thought this is more medieval than
this is a trope.
This smells more medieval than that one with Sean Connery where he plays a sexy monk.
Oh, it's
have we done
Name
that
of the Rose?
One? Name of the Rose. Have we
That's
done
a good
that?
film. No, we
It's got
haven't.
Ron Perlman in it.
That's a lot. That's Christian Slater. That's an old film. Now
Christian Slater. It's got boobs in it as well.
It always has
This film has a lot of boobs.
Has
Satan loves boobs.
Gabriel Byrne, Robin Tunney. I think it's Tunney. It's pronounced Kevin Pollak and CCH Pounder. Is it CCH or Ch?
I think it's Chi Pounder.
Chi Pounder.
She's great. I like Chi Pounder. She
She's
did a lot
good.
of TV work.
She's very intense.
Well, Schwarzenegger, he's younger than us in this.
What?
Yeah, he's younger than us. He's downsized. He's quite a small Schwarzenegger.
But he's still lumpy.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is a big, strong bull of a man.
Yes.
But he's a terrible fighter, and he's got no grace. He thumps
like
about.
The Rock.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Rock run?
Yeah,
it's painful.
No, but his big calf muscles clank together.
Yeah, that's it. You can hear them.
He's slightly unshaven in this, and he's got a little hair dye going. And he seems to be. He's in a bit of a mess.
He's okay. Before we
Ron
get into
Steiger's in this as well. You never mention him.
No, that's true.
This is what's called a late life paycheck.
It is, but he delivers. But hold on,
Miriam Margolyes.
Yeah, that's true. It's directed by Peter Hyams.
Hyams did.
Hyams.
You know the other films he did?
Outland, The Star Chamber, Time Cop, Relic, Running Scared and Capricorn 1.
Relic's very similar to this.
It is, but now he either does a great film or he takes a very silly film and makes it passable and good.
My one thing with this film, I know Satan's walking the earth.
Yeah.
It's not the best of times for people. Could he not have lit it a wee bit lighter? It's dark.
It's dark. And
the shadows have shadows.
Yeah, I agree. I thought this one was too dark.
There's a lot of Yankee Candle in this.
It's not Alien versus Predator Requiem dark, where I thought there was something wrong with my DVD.
Yeah.
No, it's dark.
But it lacks.
It's an ugly film.
It lacks majesty, because I'd imagine Satan would be a bit kind of grand.
Right. No. This is where we disagree entirely.
This is similar. What's that Denzel Washington film where Satan and he kind of hops from body to body?
That's
a good old load of nonsense, but that's similar.
Yeah.
That's a similar Satan.
But the problem with this, they make films this brown and everything's meant to look like what do you call it? Not Fight Club. Oh God, what am I saying?
Your living room.
My living room. But anyway, it's got that dirty, and I don't like that.
Dirty.
And another thing with Satan, when Satan appears, he's dead cool. He's in control.
Oh, this isn't a cool Satan.
Yeah, he is.
This fucking Satan's not cool. He starts off a bit cool. We'll get into it.
I don't like it. What if Satan turned up and he was a dork?
Don't be so ridiculous.
And he would go on about his Star Trek season 3, episode 5.
They've always got.
I prefer
he's
that.
always a bit like Jim Morrison Satan. I think he'd be more like a kind of noddy holder.
That's what I want to see. The noddy holder is Satan. That's perfect.
Who would have played a good Satan?
Who?
David Bowie.
Timmy Mallet.
I was going to say Timmy Mallet.
Timmy Mallet would be a great Satan.
He's a Satan minion.
Now, what did they say about Satan? Right? His greatest trick was making you believe he doesn't exist, which is a bit of a trick on religious. But
yeah.
Timmy Mallet, who'd believe it?
No.
He walks among us. I fucking knew it.
They say that, they quote that's the same quote they use in The Usual Suspects, and that's got Gabriel Byrne. There's a lot of little Easter eggs in this film.
So,
1979, there's a comet,
there's
the moon, we're in it's the scrolls, and Thomas Aquinas, he's looking through the scrolls, and I think he sees a prophecy, and he goes and tells the Pope, and the Pope's looking tired.
The Pope's like, ugh.
He's not that young. Remember when we were young, the Pope was a right thrusting buck. John Paul was a right man, wasn't he?
He was he did
a lot of kissing. There was tarmac. He kissed.
He had like 9 bullet holes in him as well.
He liked football.
Him and 50 Cent got shot the same amount of times. Isn't that right? Did I make that up?
Possibly. Did they shoot him 9 times? He was definitely shot. Then he had the Pope Mobile. The bulletproof Pope Mobile.
I've sat in the Pope Mobile.
I bet you have.
And there's a little seat. There's a stick with a little seat on it, but the seat's like this, but it's like 4 inches across.
So he can stand up and just rest his arse, okay.
But it's like you have to rest your coccyx on it or something. It's
there was a time in Popal history where they used to have they used to have to get the history papal. They used to get the Pope to walk over a mirror so they could check, because there was a woman became a Pope.
Oh, that's right.
Because popes used to be able to marry.
This man's a penis looks funny.
I know.
It's an innie.
The princes of Rome, the princes of the Vatican. But it's a woman. There's a lassie. There's the bride of Satan.
Yes.
Albnick's wife. He's Mrs. And the one half of them are like, the Pope is like, we must protect her. The lady. And the others are like, she must be killed for the good of us all.
Yeah, and they're like, I've got to kill this baby.
She must be found. She must be killed. The mother of Satan's baby. I charge you, Thomas Aquinas, find the girl.
And then it says,
protect her from evil.
New York, 6 hours later. Now, when they put times, I don't like this. They put times and dates.
I love that shit.
But there's no need to say 6 hours later. They could just cut to maybe some images of 70s New York and a baby being born.
It's a very busy delivery room. How many people do you need? You need the woman. She's handy to have at the birth.
Yeah.
You need somebody checking she's okay. You need somebody with a catcher's mitt to catch the baby when because it just pops. It pops
I thought
out.
It was like those little. Remember when you were a kid and you went fishing, but you got a wee fishing net.
Aye.
It was on the caravan site shop.
It's like a last. It's one to know when you're carp fishing, you need a bigger net. Babies are bigger; they're heavier than you imagine.
You're
if somebody throws
thinking ahead of me.
If somebody throws a fish supper at you, you sometimes say this will be dead light, and it can sometimes
it's got a
there's
middle
heft
weight to it. Yeah.
So yeah, because I'm led to believe a woman's vagina. I've never seen one, but it's like elasticated and is a suction.
Oh,
It's-
like that guy who could pull his neck over his head.
You know, in big offices in the 40s, they used to have those vacuum tubes for sending messages.
Yeah.
So the baby pops out. But there's a lot of people. Miriam Margolyes, who really steals the show in this film. A lot of makeup.
Her accent.
Wonderful accent.
her
And
accent.
she basically, I'm going to go and clean the baby. The mother's like that, oh, well, didn't even let them get a sniff of the baby. And she's away down the corridor. Miles,
to the basement.
into nobody's looking at her.
Nobody cares.
Down in that lift, and there's a coven down there.
With a rattlesnake.
And Udo Kerr.
Udo
who's
Kerr.
Oh, he's fucking superb.
His eyes. Are they real eyes?
Yeah, they realise.
And
They're lurking down there, Satanists.
kills the rattlesnake. takes
Dribbles
some
blood.
Gives the blood to the baby.
That's a bold move, just grabbing a rattlesnake like that. Could have better.
But no, he's Satanist. Doesn't matter.
No, Satanists. Do
Do you know Satanist? The Church of Satan in America has refused their tax-exempt status and they pay their taxes.
Well, but they don't really believe in Satan.
No, they don't.
It's a thing. It's a political
yeah.
movement kind of. But she's got a satanic birthmark.
Mm-hmm.
Very common. I've checked my entire body for birthmarks. None.
I've got. There's a mole count, a single mole.
But is it shaped like something? I bet it looks like
if
the
you go
marshmallow
close, if
man
you go
out of
really close to
Ghostbusters.
it, no, it looks like Australia. If
Okay.
you look really close, but you need like a magnifying
Well,
glass.
I bet it's got wee kangaroos on it. Oh, God. But I thought it was Otto. It's Udo Kerr.
Udo.
He was offered the Satan role initially.
Oh, he would have been great.
Nah, but they thought we can't have two fucking Austrians, German and Austrian accent. The American audience
Oh.
would get confused.
I would have been okay with that. I wouldn't have noticed.
They get it done. Miriam's back up this. Marge, I think she's called. There's some real dull names in this. All Bobby, Jerry, Marge.
I think that's okay though.
Mabel,
That's-
she's
that's-
Mabel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think there's a nice.
Back up there. Gives the baby back.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And it's Christine's the baby's called. That's a bit on the nose. Christ.
Oh, what?
Christine.
No, we'll get to the name later because there's something that made me so angry. I paused and went and got a cup of tea and came back and continued the film. But we'll get to that.
20 years later, there's 3 nights left of the
Y2K.
century.
And there seems to be chaos in the streets.
Well, they're kind of, you get snippets of the news. It's like Satanists are showing their hand. They're causing violence.
But there's this belief, like, there's Satanists everywhere. They're just waiting for the moment.
That was a bad panic. The satanic panic
Yes.
and the millennium bug. They were all things the newspapers kind of fed
We'll
in.
always have it. Video nasties.
Richard Madeley was really concerned.
He built a bunker.
Yeah, he did.
Well, it was more of a cupboard and he shut himself in it.
When his wife started drinking then.
Yeah, she never stopped.
She's never got
She
a mouth.
never stopped.
Her mouth is seldom off the bottle
She's
of gin. It's just
oh
like
my
a teat.
God.
We've got some workmen down a hole in the sewers, and there appears to be a weird satanic gas. And Satan farts into
Earthquake.
life. Now this, I thought, I'm on board with this.
What,
Satan
you
appears
did?
in flame, and he appears to be, he's in the guise of the Predator,
Yes.
which is an Arnold Schwarzenegger film, another wee Easter egg. And he's walking amongst us.
This is a film show, so good
He's
for you.
He literally flees hell.
Yeah, but I just felt
And you
that
see an element of him.
the
He's
effects in this
gargoyle.
are so
It's
dated.
1999, mate. A lot of this film is practical special effects, it's stunts and stuff.
Yeah, but this is...
And they should have made...
Oh, we'll get to that
They
as
should
well.
have made a practical Satan.
Yeah, but this is years after Jurassic Park.
£100 million this movie cost.
What?
100 million.
No. I thought this was like a low-budget film.
No. So, God,
Jesus.
there's a lot of flames in this. Fire's not inexpensive.
Well,
You ever had a fire? Costs a lot. Coal or wood.
Well, you got to
or
get
gas.
the fire starters out the garage.
They're
at Tesco's.
expensive.
They
Those
cost a
Zippo
bomb.
lighters can be quite expensive.
Yeah.
The Gabriel Byrne appears and
Okay.
he's a Wall Street douchebag.
Yes.
And he's got a business meeting with a guy and his lovely wife. He excuses himself to go for a shite.
We all
Because
do.
before you have a big solid meal, you want to clear out the way. Can empty the waiting room.
Can you sort of do it like when you need to?
Oh
could
yeah,
you
if I could just shit on command here.
Oh,
I
I've
could
really
do one
got.
right
I've
in
got to wait on it.
No. I'm in charge of it. You're
I
enthralled to
actually-
your own bowels.
I am getting better. I go every morning now.
Twice
'Cause
a day.
I have 2 glasses of cranberry juice a day. boom.
Boom, that'll clear
That'll
you.
do
You
it.
should try coconut milk.
Or Vaseline.
It doesn't even touch the sides. It just shoots you right round the U-bend. You didn't even have to flush those.
I don't know what it is now, but I don't know if this is the forum to talk
old,
about it.
It's called old age.
Don't even need to wipe.
No, well, your hairless arsehole just...
Yeah.
Why do we have hair round our anus? I can understand
Is it
hairy bump...
to collect our
fecal
man
matter.
fume.
You know what I mean? A hairy...
Strong.
The buttocks.
Yeah.
The butt cheeks.
Keep you warm.
They could be warmth.
They should
But
be
your
like...
anus should be the smoothest part of your body.
And we're like
It's
one of the
puckered.
grey apes. And it's
It's
like we've
puckered.
gone the wrong way round.
Yeah, it's
So
what...
the grey apes, they know what's
A
going on.
gorilla's arse is just completely hairless. The
They're
rest
sort
of
of
them
doing
very hairless.
shite, but...
Oh, man.
Are we
wouldn't-
failing as a species because
We're
we've got hairy
backwards.
arseholes?
We're going backwards.
Yeah.
So, I love this scene. So, Satan enters him forcibly, and it's just kind of
A bit
chest
of-
rape him.
Yeah, it's
It's not nice.
not pleasant.
He's lying on the ground. He perks up. He gets up. He's looking
And
about.
it's like,
Oh, this is the world.
now I'm the devil.
Straight
Oh.
out, grabs the woman's tit,
Boob.
right
It's
on
right
it,
in the boob.
right to it. He's snogging her. The husband's like, what are you doing? He's like,
Yeah.
the husband's
Husband like
cuckolded,
cowers.
just looks away.
Looks away. Yeah.
He replaces the tit, so he's got some
He goes,
manners.
Boop.
Walks out, kaboom!
The whole place blows up.
And he does that, walking out the flame, Terminator 2.
Yeah, well, here's where we'll start with this.
Mm-hmm.
The guy goes in, he's an idiot.
He's
Like,
indestructible.
you don't like him, but then he comes out as the devil, but now the devil's got this eyebrow.
Ah,
Now
but
I'm the
that-
devil,
yeah,
and I
but
do
that-
devilly things.
But,
Here's the problem with the devil, right? Everyone goes, the devil's terrible and stuff like that. But let's just think about it for a second.
he's a fallen angel.
Right, angel of light.
Mm-hmm.
He asks you, think for yourself.
Lucifer.
Don't worship anyone, just think for yourself. And if people are bad, such as murderers and
Mhm.
child killers, I'll take them and torture them.
He's got a son.
And then you're like, I'm
Yeah.
trying to find what's bad here. So
Oh.
why is he coming out killing people?
Did they actually name him in this, or do they call him like they call him the Dark
Him.
Angel?
Him.
They don't call him Lucifer or
No,
Satan.
they don't do it.
They speak about
He
Satanists.
arrives.
Yes,
He's on his way, yeah.
So now, slight plot problems.
Yeah, this is where we
He's-
start.
He blows. He's immune. He's invulnerable to. Excuse me. I did a big beefy.
Fuck's sake, man.
Did a big beefy belch, which is kind of like this film. It's a big beefy belch of a
That's
film.
a good description.
Yeah. But he's invulnerable.
Yeah.
Yet he hires like a crack special forces team to protect him.
It doesn't make any sense. But this is how we get Arnold Schwarzenegger into the story.
His
Striker security.
he's not Striker. He's Jericho Kane or Jerry to his friend. They
the
call him
name.
Jerry.
Jericho. That is awful.
Tom-
That's like Anastasia Steele.
Tom Cruise.
Rubbish.
Tom Cruise was going to do this film, but he did Magnolia instead. This was going to be a cruise vehicle.
I think Magnolia is shite, but you made the right choice.
He's living in some squalor. It's just I think he's like
It
drinking
would
and
put Lone Wolf McQuaid's house to
drinking
shame.
and eating shit. It's a New York apartment, so it'll be hotter. There'll be less
It's
draft.
tiny, yeah.
He's considering suicide, so he's got the gun. He's literally one in the chamber. He's just
Yeah.
about to do away with himself, and there's a knock on the door. That's all that saves his
That's
life.
it. But hold on. I want to stop right now.
Uh-huh.
This fucking gun. Now, he has a Glock.
He
I think
keeps
it's a
going on
Glock.
about the Glock.
It's a Glock 17. I'm
Oh,
not sure. It's hard to
it
tell.
changes through the film.
Yes.
This was a new gun, and they were using this film to advertise it.
Right, okay. The gun, yeah, it was actually the first time people really became aware of it in America
Uh-huh.
was Die Hard 2,
Okay.
right? And it was an expensive gun. And it's just fashion made it really popular.
Right.
A bit like when the Iranian siege and the SAS went in with MP5s.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone in the world bought MP5s.
Well, I didn't
It's
buy
a
any.
fashion.
I didn't buy any
No, I didn't.
MP5.
But this gun in it, there's some scenes where he holds up to people and it wobbles a little because it's a rubber gun. It's a safety gun.
They never give actors real guns.
No, but at least make the gun look real.
Because if you're running about, Tom Cruise
And
would
they're
blow
heavy
his nuts off.
and-
Well, he's only got one ball, Tom Cruise.
What?
He'd shoot his
that
remainder.
true?
I think so.
Oh my god. But the gun changes throughout the film
Mm.
and it wobbles a little when it moves, and that bothers me.
I was too busy with the eternal struggle between light and darkness.
But there was no eternal struggle
The,
between light and darkness. It
Kevin
was.
Pollak is
Anyway.
a great actor.
I like him,
Well, Kevin Pollak and Gabriel Byrne, both in The Usual Suspects. That's another wee line.
and he brings a lightness to it.
He's a good Yeah, he's a good sidekick. He's like Kevin Arnold,
Tom Arnold.
in True Lies. Another Arnold.
No.
So
Oh my God, you're on form today. What's going on?
He says, I was just putting myself together, and there's a line, there's a bit of banter. They like to call each other pussies.
Yeah, it's manly.
He makes, I like cuisine. He gives him a coffee.
Oh God!
It's
almighty.
like that scene. It's next only to a Cobra in the weird
And
eating
he's
scenes.
He's
So he takes-
using scissors with his pizza.
He takes coffee,
Yes,
Pepto-Bismol,
I found this hard to watch.
hot sauce.
Yes,
Is it cheese or eggs? I wasn't sure.
I think it's cheese.
Cheese.
Noodles.
Noodles. A pizza he's found on the floor.
He
He liquidizes it,
and then drinks it.
and offers Kevin Pollack some. And he says, they say breakfast is the best meal of the day. High meal of the day. And he says, I'll skip
Yeah,
that.
I'm not wanting
His
that.
breath.
Oh,
Because he's no clean.
and everything.
He's woke up and he's had this gun in his mouth, all the gun oil. He's drunk that. No cleaned his teeth. Just because his wife and daughter were slaughtered. I don't understand that bit either, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
So he turns out he's a high end protection officer, former
Ex-cop, yeah.
ex-cop. It's a proper company. It's not just you and me show up in like a 3-wheeler or
And a catapult
a
we
Triumph
made.
Dolomite with a fist getting on the roof on a spring. It's like
Oh, that'd be
steel
on a
on a spring. Fisto's security company.
Oh, I'm not going into business with you at
no.
all. No.
So.
But yeah, this is the proper deal, and they all come out. But did you notice that he has wrist holsters at this point?
Yeah,
He
spring-loaded
puts
wrist. I'd end up picking my nose and shooting my lug off.
It's a dangerous thing.
But they're a proper business. But he seems to be in charge of the company.
Yeah, so the guy with the car.
It's called Stryker.
That's the kind of name you
Sean
want.
Connery.
Stryker.
Stryker. There's this cool like albino guy goes about.
With his albino dress.
He's a cool guy.
Good, yeah.
He's got some. That's a nice bit of casting. You'll see,
He's got a good look.
he's got the best scene in the film. And they're looking about, they're talking into the wrist,
They're
and
looking
it's
at the
basically
windows.
who are we protecting? Some Wall Street douchebag.
Doesn't
A
matter.
lot of them doesn't matter.
Right.
And
But-
he hears something. Southwest corner
He looks up at the window.
because he's drunk, but he can still
Yeah. So, gunshots.
shooter.
Yeah, shooter, spell SHOOOOOTAH.
That's how I spelled it. And the guy, the hooded figures, up the fire ladder like a rat up a drain pipe. But he's shot. He's taking a shoot. He's done
And he gets
like a Reagan.
saves
He takes a
them.
bullet, and
bullets.
Kevin Pollack's like that. I hope he remembered today. Pulls it up, and he's got the vest on. He's silver. Would that stop a sniper bullet?
They can.
Can.
But most bulletproof jackets are just made for like handguns.
Do you know a mistake people make
What?
when you're putting on a bulletproof jacket?
Uh-huh.
There's Velcro on it. You have to tie the Velcro under the way. A lot of people put the Velcro this way, and
That's
the bullet
right.
tracks down and shoots them in the armpit.
And this is because there's Kevlar through it. And that's
Yeah.
right. And then in a lot of films, they would have metal plates
Yeah.
on them. But when a bullet hits it, it just shatters. So you get shot in the legs and chin, and
Aye.
it just kills everyone around you.
You've got to stop
It's
the
got
bullet.
to be ceramic. It's
Yeah.
got to break.
Oh,
And
I hope never to wear one. We're advised in Dundee, if you're going to a McDonald's or a Lidl's, you should really wear some kind of stab vest.
a stab vest. We'll get stab vests here, that's for
stab
sure.
vest.
Yeah.
He's away up there.
Yes.
But he gets shot. That would take the wind out of your sails. But he's up and at them.
Have you seen people when they shoot themselves
Yeah.
or they get shot with it? They kind of take it. They say it's
did it.
okay with a modern. But the thing is, with a bulletproof jacket, people think you just throw them on and run.
No,
I think they weigh about 40 pounds
they'd
or
be
something.
heavy.
They're really heavy.
The one of the first guys, Conan Doyle, he was wanting bulletproof vests.
Right.
He was suggesting them in the First World War. I think he maybe lost a son. His son was in the army, and he was wanting people to wear vests, so he was an early one. But the army says, no.
Don't need that, yeah.
We just can.
But, yeah.
He goes, get up, you pussy. She gets up, and he's away up there. And the guy looks like the Unabomber. Can he's like a state
he's
of
all
affairs.
covered up. And
And you see some crazy Arnie stuff.
But a helicopter
lands.
lands in the street. They jump in it. Now,
The stunt work's quite solid. In
no,
this.
it's not. I'll tell you why.
He goes hobo fishing. That's a
Right.
great scene. Right.
He gets dangled out a helicopter
Uh-huh.
because he's got a belay device coming through his raincoat
Right.
in the middle of his back. So at some point he knew he was going to be hung out of a
He
helicopter.
was ready for it. He's a fucking special ops guy, man.
He belays down.
He's organised.
Right?
He goes, imagine you're walking down the street.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a rustle. Look round. Arnie is dangling off the back of a helicopter coming towards you.
I'd
Swinging for you.
I'd panic. But the guy goes to run, right? And he goes
Hobo
to
fishing, grabs him.
fishing, jumps off the roof, but he grabs him, gets him down, and
And
they're
he
lowering him down.
pulls a gun.
Pulls a gun, shoots,
It would deafen him. He's
That's-
firing it off. He's just missing his lug.
just missing him.
Mm-hmm.
But then he falls through a glass canopy.
Lands.
Seems to be all right.
Pops up, but he's filled with Jesus juice.
Is it
That's
Jesus
running
juice?
through his veins.
Schwarzenegger.
That's what Michael Jackson used to call he called it Jesus juice. He would have
What are we
cans of
talking about?
Pepsi
Oh,
and he'd have
right.
red wine in it and he'd give it to the kids.
Jesus fucking
But Arnie gets down. He manages to unclip himself speedily
right.
and goes after
Hold
him.
on
Mhm.
now, right? Have you ever seen the trick they pull on bodybuilders?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not a trick, but they put a post-it note in the middle
They're
of
easy
their
to
back
fool.
and they can't reach. So there's no way Schwarzenegger could get himself
That's-
unclipped to
no.
the carabiner.
Right, okay.
He'd still be there today.
Still be hanging there on the back of the helicopter.
He needs a human to help him, like I
Yeah.
help dogs.
It's almost
through
like
their
you
ears.
don't realise that films are just all made up bullshit.
What?
This isn't a documentary.
I'll stop
Yeah.
you right there, sir.
He's following him
Mm-hmm.
through this kind of red lit bit, down onto the subway.
The tracks, yes.
They're on the tracks. I always like a film that's in on the underground. And it's like a mimic. It's a lot.
That's a good film.
Well, funny, that was Guillermo del Toro.
Yes.
Directed. Guillermo del Toro was offered this film but turned it down.
Good for him. It's
Good
a
for him.
rubbish film.
He would have made it better.
He would have fixed it. That's
the Dark
true.
Angel is loose from its prison. A
He comes out
1,000
nowhere.
years has ended.
He pulls out his rubber gun.
You don't know what you've done. Drop it. And he
It
just
welts
he
the gun.
He shoots him.
Shoots him in the
And he
leg.
goes, oh God, he's a fucking priest. And he rummages through his pockets, finds his identification and stuff. And then Cheech Pounder appears.
Cheech Pounder.
So we've got Jerry, Bobby and Marge. And she goes, you still drinking? And he takes offence.
Yeah.
He's obviously reeking of alcohol.
Yeah, he says, I'm not
So
drinking.
it's a fair thing.
I'm not drinking.
And he goes, the guy spoke to you. Oh, yes. He doesn't have a tongue. But you could still speak without a tongue.
If you don't move your tongue, I'll go, the dark one's coming.
Yeah,
you
to
prick."
just make you sound a bit odd. But
Is
you,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I heard? And they go to Spotta's dive bar.
You know what I'd like in
He
a
searches him
in
out.
a film
Yeah.
like this with Schwarzenegger?
Aye.
If they called him Hans Gruber or something.
Okay.
If he just said,
that's been taken.
oh, that's
hasn't
been taken. But if, immigrated
it?
here.
Stefan Wienerwitz.
Yes, they
Yeah.
just called him that, and
He's
immigrated to the
always called,
States,
like,
became
Dave.
a cop. But yeah, Jim. And what was it? He's called Ben something in The Running Man.
Yeah.
Ben
But that's
Edwards or something.
That's a great joke. They always pretend he's just a naturalised. Where were you born? New Jersey.
That's the same. That's the same as the guy
It's the same as
in the room. What do you call him?
oh, aye, he kids on.
He believes he's American, 100%,
Well,
and he's
it's like
Polish or something.
what's his name? The muscle from Brussels. He was always from the Bayou.
But at least they tried to.
No,
work
Arnold's
it
too
in.
big a character for that.
Yeah, they just,
They're not saying he's
Ben Richards.
Ben Richards.
That's it. Ben Richards. He always is.
But he's quite a good cop. He's beating the leather. Is that the expression?
No.
I know. There's been a helicopter, and I didn't do my helicopter impersonation, but it's past now.
No, listen. There are people who have never heard it before. That would be unfair to
No,
let it
I'm
go.
not doing it.
No,
Look back.
No, you have to
I'm
do
not
it
here.
now.
I'm
Do
not.
it.
I'm
Do
not.
it.
Oja. It's like apocalypse now.
It's like you've had a head injury.
You find the priest's room, and what it made me think is the Vatican must be a wee bit strapped for cash. Could they not put him up in somewhere a bit nicer? He's basically tasked. The Pope has said to him, Thomas, we need you to prevent the end of the world by keeping that woman safe. Could you live in this squalor?
Do you think there was a
We
purpose
need
for
to
the
cut
squalor?
some costs.
Or it was to make the film look a bit darker?
Well, it's given it
'Cause
that
if they went to a
seven
nice
vibe.
house, the seven, yeah.
It allows them to do all the...
They saw 7 and went, let's do that.
That allows them to put the
Yeah.
symbol. The symbols are like really poorly done in this.
The symbols are the same one I put in my mate's basement to scare
He's
the...
like, is this? I don't think that's blood. Was it jizz? I don't think this is paint he's using. I'm thinking jizz, beetroot jizz.
Probably.
He said, I don't go. Kevin Pollak throws in some wee one-liners throughout.
Yeah,
he said, I don't go for this. Look, it's too damn busy. You're like, oh, Kevin.
Now they open a fridge.
Is it a sin to wish you were never born? That's what he's written on the wall.
Is that? I like that accent.
And
That's good.
he opens the fridge and a cat jumps out.
Now, how long's that cat been in there?
Fuck knows. Cats are patient.
But this is
animal.
literally the worst trope in a film. A cat jump
a black
scare.
cat.
Yeah, it's rubbish.
There's a jar with a guy's tongue in it, and he says he must have taken it out himself. How the fuck? Think about it. How do you cut out your own tongue?
It's right from the back as well. That would make you gag.
That would be worse than one of those lateral flow tests.
They're pretty rough.
I've done 3 of them now. The first one's thrilling. The second one, not so much. The third one's...
Do you feel used by the third one?
Yeah, my gag reflex... I don't have a gag reflex. I could...
I've got a terrible gag reflex.
What have I got to...
Oh, we got to the fridge. So the police burst in at this point, and they're all like pointing their rubber guns at each other.
It's us!
And they're just... and they went to us.
A Mexican standoff.
But then they just go, right, okay, whatever. And they don't seem to go as policemen. You two...
How did you know?
There's security. Get the fuck out of here.
You two are basically... You're like the security guards at the Overgate Centre.
Yeah, the Overgate.
Kind of guy looks like
with
Elvis.
Guns. Exactly. Get the fuck out of here.
Big American, everybody could have a gun. But in New York, not so much.
No, you don't have
New
a gun.
York.
I knew someone who had a gun there. And it took them...
New York's difficult to have a gun, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 years to get their licence, and they had to get a gun lawyer, and then they spent, I think it was tens of thousands of dollars, and then they get assessed all the time in it. It was a big deal, but they were able to get it because they had someone who actually tried to kill them.
Okay,
so they were able to get it
with a gun. So somebody else has spent years trying to get a gun and used it immediately trying.
But I think if you go to New Jersey, you can just walk in
so they know it's Thomas Aquinas, who's that's a visionary for back in the Catholic Church.
Yes, yeah,
and he's a homicidal priest, alleged visionary. At least he's homicidal as opposed to someone else. Makes a change.
I thought you were waiting to say something.
He had a spiritual crisis, so he's left the church.
Yes,
and he's sought out squalor.
Because he's figured out who Satan is.
And he says the banker guy, he's disappeared as well.
He's gone.
It's
a mystery.
What?
So where are we? Because I've lost... Oh, now we'll cut to...
The New York subway.
The subway with young Christine.
It's that heat in the underground I don't like.
It's very hot.
And it's nothing... You never quite experience humanity like underground humanity. Now, the warmth coming off
the
people,
underground,
the fluffers, they get rid of all the human skin.
The subway is actually really clean and nice.
It used to be dangerous.
It used to be really bad, and I think by this point it was really cleaned up. But they make it look bad again.
They've grimed up again.
They've grimed it up. But
it's the best way to get about a city's underground.
It was absolutely gorgeous.
It's wonderful.
It was really nice.
The albino guy, he looks a little bit like Aphex Twin.
Yes,
that's which I like. And he walks up, and she's being nice, Christine, and she's looking up at him. She's like, "Give us
some money."
And he's like, "She's coming for you, Christine.
Oh,
he's going to fuck you."
Oh, he does say that.
And then he falls into bits.
He turns to porcelain.
Doll.
Yeah,
that's a good scene.
And it's dated as fuck.
Yeah, but I remember at the time that was a bit of the film I remembered.
I remembered this bit. Yeah, this was the sort of best bit of the film.
She wakes up
and she's.
And everybody's like looking at that. Won't be the maddest thing they'll have seen on the underground that journey. There'll be crazy stuff happening.
I was on not the New York one, but the London the underground, and there was a guy just letting the biggest farts go. But he was lifting his leg, but he was like a city guy, and he just went.
That's a fetish thing.
And just got back to his newspaper.
I went underground, London underground. They got a seat. And I'm like, When I sat down, I'm thinking, and across from me is this guy, and he's got a gigantic thermos flask, thermos flask, and he's got a Knickerbocker Glory spoon, and it's homemade oxtail soup, and he's fishing in, taking out the big bits of the bone, putting them in his mouth, sucking the fat out, and then going, and spitting them and they're ricocheting and nobody's looking.
No, I wouldn't look.
And I was just looking at him fascinated.
I wouldn't look.
But yeah, she's a nice girl. That was going to be Liv Tyler, but she couldn't do it for contractual
See the
reasons.
amount of people that didn't go into this film and just
They've all
dodged
dodged
out.
a bullet.
Yeah. Back to Arnold's house.
He's pizza and he's got pizza and he's got rum.
And he's got a music box. He cries.
It's a there is something. There is a music box. There is something sad about them. The music on them's sad.
Blink, blink,
It's
blink,
blinking away.
blink, blink.
And he looks at his tit where his heart
Blink.
is, and it's broken because he's got a wee bruise on it.
Oh, blink, blink. I never thought
He
of it
goes,
like that.
1,000 years of his mind's working slowly.
He does. He
You can
starts.
see the acting behind the eyes.
I'm going. Well, yeah, because you don't see it on screen.
And he cries, "Ahmed!" But there must mean just squirting vinegar in his eyes, but not a tear. Ahmed!
But he's reading the Bible. He's starting.
He had
to
a Bible to hand
figure it out.
because he's a man that's had faith,
Mhm.
but he's lost his faith.
He's lost it. Yeah.
Eh,
Same story every time.
Well, so go back to Christine, and she's well off, and her stepmom is now the nurse,
Yes.
Miriam, who's had a bit of a spruce.
Yes, she has.
Makeup's on point, a solid woman, hilarious in real life. Miriam
Oh,
Margolyes,
you can't stop her.
she is fearless.
Yeah, she says what she wants.
She doesn't give a fuck. And it turns out a psychiatrist is Udo Kerr, so she's on the phone. Don't worry, Christine.
Don't
It's
worry.
all fine. Take more Xanax.
More and more Xanax, you'll be fine.
These dreams are your creation. There is nothing real about them. Then old Schwarzenegger, sorry, Schwarzenegger. He just thinks, I'll go. The Bible. No, let's stop doing
Let's do
accents.
the accents because
We're terrible. Kevin Pollak's really good at accents. We are not good at accents.
No, we're not good at accents.
So he goes to he stumbles into his nearest church,
his nearest one,
and it
just walks
happens
in
to be where everything's going down.
where the Catholic X-Files is happening.
There's a huddle. There's a priestly
they're all
huddle.
talking.
A proddle. And they're all there whispering, "What's going on here?" And they're like, "Okay,
Yeah, just
Rod
talk to him.
Steger's just like,
But
his blood pressure's. He fought in the war and everything. Steiger.
did he?
He was like, but in his prime, he was like a kind of dangerous guy.
Oh,
Bit
right,
of that
okay.
Norman Mailer fat guy energy.
Right, okay.
But and then Arnold, he's hard to put off, so he just stumbles
So he
down.
sneaks downstairs.
Lovely green lamps, and it's just priests.
Computers and scrolls and
Scrolling.
books, and they're looking for
No,
information.
there's no
about
scrolls, mate. They've gone
Was
computerised.
well, they're
It's
no,
updated.
you
In 20
didn't
years.
check. You didn't check.
Is
They're
there
looking at the scrolls and backing up on Windows 95.
Okay.
Yeah.
The computers look a wee bit dated. What? He's like,
But there's also a possessed woman there.
oh, she's like a seer.
She's got a
like,
stigmata.
Oh, I love a stigmata.
Oh, stigmata.
It's just bullshit.
It is
You
bullshit.
can't get stigmata. You
You
can't.
can't. It's like people are actually just scraping their
That's-
hands.
they're
into
doing
the-
something,
yeah.
bleeding out their eyelids and shit. So God ordered a hit on an investment banker. What?
Yes, it doesn't make it. Oh, I was way to his accent.
He goes, I've seen a few things. This is how Arnold speaks from now. I've seen a few things too, but nothing that would make me cut my tongue out. And Rod says to him, wait a day.
Wait a day, just fucking this time tomorrow, sunshine.
He goes, do you believe in God? Maybe one day, but not now since they can. He says, I thought my wife and daughter should live, and God disagreed. So he's got he's a personal anger with God.
Yeah, we cut straight to the psychiatrist, to Udo's house, right?
Do you not see the ice skating? There's a bit of ice skating, very festive.
Oh yeah, I hated all that.
And Satan's on the move.
And he's following all these symbols to go to the psychiatrist.
Hobo chalk marks, but
Hobo
Satan,
chalk
the
marks.
Satan equivalent.
So he turns up at his house.
This
I
is something.
hated this.
And Udo's having a lovely dinner, and his daughter's been a bit bratish.
The very
The wo-
rich family.
Very rich psychiatrists. The Scientologists don't believe in them. He goes, "Oh, it's you."
Oh,
And
it's
he
you.
comes
I
in,
was
"Oh,
been
this is your-
expecting you.
This is your beautiful
That's your
and
wife
yeah,
and daughter. So the sex scene with the wife and daughter
a satanic throuple
is
where they form a human blob.
it's It's
repulsive.
disgusting. It's disgusting effects. It doesn't work.
There's a lot of nipple action. Does he kind of absorb them?
I don't know what happens.
He takes the heads and he just mushes them
Mushes
together.
them
like
together.
Have you ever made something out of plasticine and tried
Yes.
to utilise it?
In what sense? It made a spaceship.
No, that's not what I was thinking.
I know you weren't
Because
thinking
plasticine's
that.
quite greasy.
Jesus
A
Christ.
fleshy quality to it.
We're doing a film.
Did your dad ever make you Play-Doh out of like salt?
Yeah.
Salt dip?
Yeah.
Did you ever
Used to
bake
play
it in the
Doh.
oven?
Yes.
Yeah,
Made
good.
badges and shit.
Badges,
Okay.
Like satanic badges.
Satanic.
But you see, up to this point, you've got to say he seems randy, Satan.
Yeah, he's very
And
randy.
He seems a bit. He does seem quite dangerous. There's something wolfish about him to this point.
But I don't like that.
You wanted him to be nerdy.
Well, the problem. Right. Here's the problem with
Imagine
Satan.
if Jesus came back to life.
Yeah.
He'd be a bit intense for the modern world.
5'1" at the tallest.
Jesus.
Everyone back then was
Tiny.
about that size. That's why, when you hear about the Roman soldiers,
Saves on wood.
there was only exactly, but they were all about this big. They were all up to your
like infants.
yeah. So the
We would
Roman
have been
armies
gen-
come in, you just run them, kicking them. They wouldn't do fuck all.
They're armoured. A toddler in armour's still more
They're
dangerous.
basically
than
an army of toddlers.
An army
They're
of
all
toddler.
tiny. Yeah.
But they've got spikes and
It's the same here because there's houses just down from me that are 1,000 years old. You can't walk in them. The doors are all tiny.
Oh no, tiny people.
But the
That's a
proportion
lock.
of these doors would be above them, so they were.
But people don't realise
4'8".
Dundonians lived on white bread sprinkled with some sugar.
Mm-hmm,
That was breakfast,
Yeah.
lunch, supper.
And another classic one that my mother still eats: cheese and jam on a
Oh,
sandwich.
that's disgusting as
Cheese
fuck.
and have you seen people do that? Very common here. Cheese and jam.
That's called a cham sandwich.
A jam sandwich.
Or cheese.
Cheese.
That's disgusting.
That's what. Yeah.
Disgusting people.
My partner has bananas and ham.
She's a disgusting human being.
Yeah.
The National Guard already, it comes over the news. Things are starting to
Things
get
are
a bit-
kicking off. It's like,
There seems to be a lot of Satanists. In my hometown, there was one,
there's always one.
and he got done because he was stealing old ladies' knickers off the washing lines. But this is more of a. There's a lot of them.
There's a lot.
I
They're all
suppose
coming out the
if
woodwork.
Satan did come back,
You'd have to choose a side.
well, this is looking a bit dicey.
But this is where I was going with Satan. Here's the problem
Right.
with Satan.
I've run out of
In
beef.
this, Satan comes in, I'm killing you and I'm doing this and doing that. I do what I want. No, Satan has rules. That's the whole point of Satan, the good and evil. He has very stringent rules.
He punishes the evil.
Yeah,
But in
so
this,
what's the worry?
he's rewarding them. It doesn't go well being on Team Satan.
It doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
So he basically, there's random acts of violence. Things are picking up. Nobody kind of knows what's going on. In reality, I was in Edinburgh for the Millennium thing, and there was no real violence.
No,
It got a bit. The
I was
crowds
at
were a bit.
I was at the fire swinging up in Stonehaven.
fire swinging, like.
No, not swinging in that sense.
No, oh, the
They
ball
just,
thing.
The ball thing.
It's that was invented in 1984.
It's
the kid
just-
on it.
Yeah, and I went up for that. There was
It
nowhere else to
freshens
go.
the air a little bit.
And I got on TV.
Did you?
Because I went up with our friend that lives in a van, and we were in his camper van, and we were making cups of tea and that. And because it was lit from the inside, it was an old Volkswagen, so it looked really cool.
Stealth camping. Well,
yeah, it was a nice one. It looked cool.
Uh,
So that everyone kept filming it and doing their stuff in front of it. So there was channels around the world, and there was just us in the
just
back.
you-
drinking
yeah,
tea.
Donald Duck in it in the back of a van. So Satan visits Thomas in the secure prison hospital. It turns out the cop is a pedo. He's like, those small
I
boys.
can
you-
smell them on you.
There's a lot of smell in this.
A lot of smell.
What is it? Yeah. Remember who it is that you serve. And he lets him in. And he goes, open your eyes, Thomas. And he wakes up with a star.
And he's in a you know how you grow your weed, or people
Yeah.
that do that in these little plastic tubes.
Yeah, because he's quite badly.
And he's in it.
He's kinda-
he knows who he is.
Yeah. And Satan's smoking a fag dangerously.
And he opens his plastic tube and blows the smoke in it.
Oh,
You're like, oh, that's evil.
He's like in a fag. And then but Arnie's there as well to get some. He's got no tongue, for fuck's sake. And he says he can write. And they walk in. And he's fucking crucified to the roof.
Which I just thought was.
And the police, the guy's like, I think he
Rubbish.
did it himself. And Arnie's like, how did he get the last scalp? What?
How did he get up? How does that make any
But-
sense?
This makes Satan to be quite petty and smug at this stage.
Yes.
You'd think this overarching, a little priest guy fucking with him is of no consequence.
Exactly. He wouldn't bother
you
with anybody.
You're not even you're like, if aliens came to Earth, we would be ants. We'd be nothing to us.
Right.
And this Satan, he takes personal affront if anybody
But that's the whole
displeases
point.
him.
Satan's rules.
Yeah.
Satan would go, well, this guy's trying to kill me. He's doing his job. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay.
He doesn't care.
Then
Now-
he's out in the street and he meets you. He runs into you circa 1999.
Skating.
And he goes, nice shirt. And the guy's like, fuck you, man. And he goes, hey, kid!
Bang.
Killed by a bus.
Gets run over. Stupid scene. But
What was that designed to do? Just get the kids on board?
I don't know. This it
But a
made
lot
no
of kids
sense.
do wear like satanic t-shirts and shit. But it means nothing.
It means nothing. But because I
Yes.
think the inverted cross is a Catholic symbol, isn't it? The
Yeah.
Pope wears it on his
Possible. I'm
paper
not.
hat.
I don't know much about.
On his rocket hat.
I don't know much of popal business. I'm not. I'm
Popal.
not. I'm not on board
Now,
with the popal
this
stuff.
bit is where the film completely fucking lost me.
Wait,
Because they're talking about it's Christ in New York. Who's Christ in New York? Maybe it's not Christ. Maybe it's Chris or Christine, and it's maybe Christine York.
'cause it's-
Look up Christine York. They
that-
look up on the
is that-
computer and their shit is.
Because Thomas is still alive. He goes, Christ in New York, and then
But how could you get it's Christ in New York and go straight to it's Christine York?
Because he's a top detective.
I
He goes,
hate stupid-
maybe it is not Christ in New, maybe Christine York, and then they just go.
Fucking
And his
stupid.
body's all carved up. He's been busy taking out his tongue. And could he not just have had a moleskin diary to keep his notes in?
I love a moleskin diary. I've got lots
I've got
of
this
them.
wee book. I don't have to.
That's
Imagine,
not moleskin.
no, it's just a cheap one.
It's a
But
cheap
imagine every time we took notes of this film, we carved it into our flesh. Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
God.
Kevin's like, I'm not going to sleep again. He's on his nerves, Kel. He's seen quite a bit, Kevin, his wee sidekick. And he goes, we'll find her. We're going to go and search for her. Meanwhile, we see more boobs because she's away into the shower. You see some side boob. Quite a lot of boobs in this.
Oh, it's over the time.
And our butler's in the bath. He's been
killed.
right. So this confused me. He's dead in the bath.
Yes.
And then she turns round and then
And they break in.
would they not have been in waiting for her?
Yeah. This is the point I'm making about this film.
They're killer priests,
They're like a Vatican hit squad.
and they're like Van Hit Squad. They've
I
got
think that's likely. I
they've
bet they'll
got-
have them.
They've got the knives like in the Omen. Can they need 7
Yeah,
knives?
they've got to. Yeah,
And they're tough guys, and they're all quite New York.
and
They're
they've
all-
got to give the last rites.
the priests in this are all generally quite.
They're burly.
Gruff,
They're
gruff.
rough. But
And
the thing is,
It's
this
like, get on with it with last rites, and meanwhile Arnie, you know he's coming.
with his rubber gun.
Shoot out, yeah.
Stupid.
A lot of damage to the Ormolu.
Ormolu? What's the Ormolu?
It's the gold picture frames.
Is that Ormolu?
And he's tumbling. Everything's like quite decadent, and they're falling down the stairs, and all the paintings tumble off, and he's shooting at them, and it's quite rough. And he's getting but he's not like as tough as Arnie normally is.
No, he's very
he goes toe
lumpy.
to toe with people.
Yeah, but he's lumpy.
Do you
in
know
this.
he
It's
had a
slow.
heart, after he'd filmed Batman? He had heart surgery because of the
Oh,
roids.
right, yeah.
So they were reluctant to cast him in this because they thought, God, he's just out of having heart surgery. So
to
this,
be fair, like you say,
so
he's
he's low
thinner.
energy.
He looks it.
He's
he
low
looks,
energy.
Yeah.
He's a clumsy fighter. He just kind of haymakers. He's kind of.
Yeah, I didn't like any of the fight
But
choreography.
He goes, take it easy with the good guys. So the priests have been put off their stabby stuff, and they just, where's the body? All gone.
All gone.
Cleaned
They
up
take
after
off.
themselves. He sees.
But he grabs a necklace.
He sees
And it's-
another little musical box.
Oh, and it's like, what does that mean? Nothing.
It's the same as my daughter's one. It's signs, portents.
There's no signs in this. If that's a sign,
That's a sign.
someone else. It's not a sign.
It's a sign.
It's terrible.
There's
There's
no-
literal signs in this written on the ground.
There's no God or Satan. It's all made up.
What?
The she goes, do you want a Xanax? Because he does seem a little bit highly strung. He could maybe do with a Xanax.
But
There's a lot of religious books outside, he says. That's my stepmother's. Is she religious? No, she's just an interest.
Oh yeah,
Fucking hell.
evil.
Does she feel... What have I written? Fake?
What have we got to
Oh
here?
no! It's Miriam appears, and it's all the fake concern.
Oh yeah, how you doing?
And you're like, does she really care for her? No, she doesn't.
No,
It's
she
just-
doesn't.
It's the process.
she's a receptacle. She's got
Aye.
to take care of this receptacle.
And then she phones. He's like that. Udo phones Miriam and says, "Could you take Christine down?" He's waiting for her
Yes.
Could he not just snap his fingers and transport her? Because he appears to have magical powers. He absorbed 2 women. He's immune to it.
But he doesn't know where this girl is. He doesn't.
No, he can't. She's in the house. She's been waiting there for 20 years for him. They've got it's all
ridiculous. Could you not go to the house, get a bus?
Just get a fucking.
He's been going around in Wall Street for ages.
Bring a box of fucking Quality Street or something. Show up. There's a Quality Street. Let's get down to making Hell Baby. But he says, Miriam, could you come down? She's like,
you're
no.
really smooth with the ladies.
She's like that. No, we can't come. There's a lot of problems here. And Udo goes to say it, and I've tried. I can't convince her to come down. And he's just like, punches him
through his head,
straight through the head,
kills him. That was a shock to kill him like that. It's because he's a good actor, and then he was gone.
He's a great actor, but Arnie leaves, and then he goes, and he goes back again.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, have you changed your mind about the pill? And he's like, no, I've found something. He's
starting to figure it out, which is
Kevin's
stupid.
out in the van waiting, and Satan has showed up,
and he takes a black
right tarry piss. It's like treacle,
and I think it's meant to be oil,
but he's a bit gun shy because he could just basically have stood in the street.
I'd like if he just stood in the street.
He doesn't. He goes up a wee side lane,
and this shredded cock fell out. But no, it's just
he goes up a wee lane, and the piss. He could control the piss. It goes like a wee snake. Fag, badoom.
Boom, sets the car on fire, Pollock's gone. So, we're back in the house, and Christine cuts open an apple, and then lots of people
that's a good bit.
Going,
what's that about?
It doesn't make any. And she goes, I've had an hallucination.
She says, I'm really sorry about that.
I saw it too. And she goes, I've never had a shared hallucination before.
I have a medical condition, yeah.
It's like, do you catch hallucinations like that?
I know. And then
makes no
she's
sense.
like, let's go out here. I'll look after you. Because he's dealing with his demons. He couldn't protect his wife and daughter, so he's got to protect
then
her.
Margolis comes in.
And she's fucking up
she's
for it.
She's got superpowers.
Now, she's just an old lady.
Yeah.
Out of weight, overweight, out of shape. Toe to toe with her.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking kicked.
But he's just had a heart operation.
Yeah, is that
you
what's
just pointed that out.
But she's punching him.
She's lifting him off the ground and stuff like that. But then she gets a big bit of glass in her
He does put her header straight through a glass coffee table.
That'll do.
That's the same coffee table that him from Status Quo used to lie under when people in Germany shat on him.
No, he done the shitting.
Oh, I thought he was on.
No, this was like this was like going to the berries.
It was a Rossi turd.
Yeah.
Oh no, I thought he lay under.
No, you got Francis Rossi taking a shit on you. Horrible.
Wow.
I'd be dry.
Better than Rick Parfitt. His would be very liquidic. Rossi would do a good solid stool.
You'd need a guttering on that table, wouldn't you? Jesus Christ.
She's failed, but he's like, Christine, you know who I am. I've come for you. And she's
starting to get drawn.
Yeah. And she's lying there. I failed you, and he just wiggles the bit of glass about
just
in her
puts
neck.
it in her neck and kills her. It looks a bit
They head
painful.
outside. They're fleeing the place, and the pedo cop shows up, and Marge.
Yeah.
And turns out she's been Team Satan all the time.
All the time. It's terrible.
And he does so he's like, throw down the gun. He does. And he goes out, put your hands up.
Okay.
What's he got?
The wrist holsters. Now, this is the point where, the wrist holsters come in handy. Of course they did. But the thing is, he pulls out not wee guns. They're huge. So
he does have quite an open collar.
My God, where do you keep these guns?
Loose-fitting clothes.
They're massive guns.
They're under. Yeah, there's no obvious bulge.
But they're massive guns. Yeah. A gun is relatively big.
It is quite big.
And then with a holster, it's even bigger.
It's like that.
With springs.
Yeah, it's going to be like that, maybe.
Like exactly.
It's like that. I would
and
get
then
in
they
the
just
way.
fire out.
And he kills them both. But then Satan shows up. And he's
Brings
like,
Pounder
you
back,
I don't need. You're a fucking pedophile. Because even in hell, the pedophiles, they're not popular.
Yeah.
And he goes, you in need, and he wanders off, and she kind of comes back to life. She's walked up. The lighting is so dark.
You can't see
Well,
anything
Arnie didn't
in this.
like it. He said, this film's too dark. And he says, yeah, conceptually. No, he says, not dark and thematically. He says, it's too fucking dark.
Yeah.
Can't see a bloody thing. Arnie believes in tough love. He's really like dragging her about, Kim. He's got a robust way with women. And she's like, it's my destiny. I think she's got some daddy issues.
Now this is when they have a little talk in the woods.
Satanic lusts.
Yeah, and they're talking about stuff. Now, this is the moment that I think Schwarzenegger's career took a turn.
Okay.
Because they've actually got him trying to act. And he seems very tired. He can't deliver a line.
No, he's
but then
trying to
Robin
emote.
Tunney, or whatever her name is,
Uh-huh.
she can't deliver a line either.
No.
And it's like,
She
this
did
is
a-
take
was she not
5,000.
in, was she not in that thing about the teenage witches? The
Uh,
cult,
the
cover,
Craft.
The Craft.
And she was in Empire Records as well,
Aye.
with a shaved head and that.
She'll
And
be
she's
probably
fine.
a good old age
She's
now.
fine.
Good old
She's
age.
like my age.
She's like 50 or it's just one of these nearly people. It's a shame. It's a tough world.
No, I like her. But
Yeah, she's fine.
in this, she cannot deliver a line. It's terrible.
He thinks, let's go back to those. If we've got some religious stuff, we'll maybe go back to the church I stumbled in accidentally the last time.
Yeah.
And Steiger's are very rough spoken. And there's they go to speak to the Polish peasant, the seer, they've done it downstairs.
Uh-huh.
It would have been better if it had been a Dundee wifey. Imagine if it was Fast Eddie.
Fast Eddie. you're going to get fucking double that. You got a pound.
And he does the explanation about it's not 666.
Oh,
It's 999.
no, I hate this. And do you know how they
year of his
demonstrate?
return.
Wait, how do they demonstrate this?
Do you want me to do it?
Go and do it. Go and do it. Get a fucking pen. Look, I'm going to give you a bit of paper.
No, here we go. So it's 6, 6,
Mm-hmm.
6.
And
Are you watching this?
Right, this is for everyone
That's
watching.
off, but it's still filming.
Yeah.
And then they go,
1999. They add one. They add one. They just say it. It's
Yeah.
the most stupid
that's nonsense.
fucking juvenile writing I've ever seen. It's rubbish. This fucking film.
Oh God, there's a lot of notes here.
You've done too many.
Yeah,
You've done too many.
He's the dark angel. It's the holy. He's got an hour to get
She
copulated.
has been chosen.
So all they need to do
Yeah.
is make sure Satan does not get his willy in her from the hour before midnight.
Silicon sealer.
They don't want to shoot. Yeah, this.
I was going to say cock, but
you just
that's
need
the
to,
wrong
You
use of
just
the
need
word.
to slow him down.
Yeah.
Maybe play some Luther Vandross music. No, don't, because that's sexy
That's
music.
sexy music.
Someone is. Oh God, I'm
Some
not
more
in the mood
Timmy
now.
Mallet music.
Just go.
That's too sexy.
Just go to saying you've got a wee pecker. He's like, I can't do it.
Gaffer
now.
tape.
Gaffer tape.
Just make pants
But
for her. Gaffer tape.
The thing is, the rules keep flipping.
Yes.
He doesn't.
Problem.
He can't see holy buildings, so because they're
Can't
in a
see in
church,
them.
he's blind to it.
Which is stupid.
Arnie's a bit doubtful about this. He says, "Can he still?" He does. What? We've just. There's a celestial convergence.
Yes.
He says it's not just because the whole human calendar's made up anyway.
Yeah, and now, isn't it because of different changes in governments
Yeah.
and rules? But actually, the millennium wasn't held on the
Yeah,
millennium. It's like 15 years out
Yeah,
or something.
we're all wrong.
It's all wrong.
It's all
yeah.
nonsense.
Nonsense.
Why? He says, why doesn't God do anything? That's a big question, non-believers.
Mm-hmm.
Why does God not get involved? He was very heavily involved when there was like a few thousand people kicking about in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's quite complicated. There's a lot more stuff happening. God, he says, fucking hell, I've washed my hands of this shit. Anyway, he goes, between your faith and my Glock 90mm, I'll take my
90
Glock.
millimeter.
Is it?
What is a 9mm?
Is it a 9mm?
Yeah,
Is
90
it,
millimeters.
Is that the size of the bullet? A 90mm would.
A 90mm is like a meter long. Fuck's sake! You only got one bullet.
It's just that one bullet. It's a cannon.
And a 9mm
90mm would be a cannon with a cannonball in
on a
it.
Glock. What would that be? It'd be 9mm by 19.
Okay.
Okay.
And then he
I think.
says the line, Satan's greatest trick was convincing man they didn't exist. So you're thinking, she's got a choice, and you think, what should she do? Should she stay with Mr. Universe or stay with these rather wino old priests?
Priests every time. So,
But she chooses Arnie, does she?
No,
she
doesn't.
stays with the priest.
If you didn't watch this,
I
I swear
did.
to fucking God. So we'll cut to the Pope. Now, the Pope, years later, what's the only difference on him? Have they put makeup on him?
He's in a
They made
wheelchair.
He's in a wheelchair.
Well,
the exact
it's
same
a tiring
guy.
job. There's a lot of standing about.
20 years
You
later,
can get a chill in that balcony.
he gets informed about the girl, but he says, no, in our darkest hour, we must have faith.
Faith. When
Faith.
things are at their worst, that's
Just hope.
when he just heads home. He's like, I'm done.
Yeah, he just
Arnie.
goes on.
Fuck, that's been a busy day. Satan's waiting.
Waiting on him.
How
Now-
the fuck did you get in here?
Oh, God.
And he gets quite
That's what I
indignant
thought.
with Satan. He's like, I fucking stopped a bullet for you. And he's not you, it was the body, he says. But I don't get it. Why?
But at this point, Jericho brings up some good points. He goes, "Why are you doing it?" And he's like,
so petty?
and then the devil goes, "Because I am."
He says, "What do you?
This
What do you fucking want?" And
Yeah.
he goes, "Just to make you happy." He likes him. He likes. He got a dark heart. Put some Nat King Cole music on.
No, wrong. Because if he had a dark heart, he says he would have hated him and he would have wanted to punish him.
Okay.
But he says you have because if he was good.
No. Here's my theory.
No.
Satan,
Nah,
he's a functionary. It's like he works for Dundee City Council.
I agree.
And he's got
This
a
is
specific
right.
job.
He's got a job.
He's had enough. He says, "I'm running things. Enough of this punishment. It's not working. I'm getting more. I'm a free and easy. I'm throwing out the rules."
But right, okay, no. But here's the thing: it's end of days, and what happens in end of days?
I don't know. I'm not a biblical scholar.
But it's end of days, right? Because
Because
Jesus comes back with machine guns and everything. They have a battle.
Is
But
there not Satan in an island chained to something?
here's
Chained
what
to a
happens:
fridge.
humans can do what they want,
Okay.
right? And the belief
The
of
rapture
like,
and stuff.
right, the belief in the church, if you're allowed to do what you want,
Mm-hmm.
right,
Mm-hmm.
that you'll just do anything and hurt people and do stuff.
Uh-huh.
But there's another possibility: if you're allowed to do what you want, you could help as many people as you like.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever thought of that? There's another side to it.
It's not something
This
I
is
give
why
up.
I'm not buying into it.
So he's like that, Nat King Cole,
Bullshit.
and it's like going on to the Starship Enterprise holodeck.
Mm-hmm.
It suddenly becomes...
Yeah, it changes into his house as it was years ago.
Satan does air quotes, which is quite annoying. And then Arnie tries to shoot him, but he's like impotent. His bullets are impotent.
Yeah,
He
because
can't
it's,
fire a
it's, a,
bullet.
it's a rubber gun.
It seems a wee bit extreme. Like he says, they're not real, so he's not falling for it.
Yeah.
And then
he says to him,
these
"You're
are
a choir boy
choir
compared
boy.
to me."
I'm more dangerous than you, Satan. But then it's like dirty cops come in. So he's like a Serpico character. So he's been given evidence against the dirty cops. So they come and slaughter his wife. I know there's dirty cops.
Yeah.
It seems a bit extreme
They
to
just
like just kill
his wife and kid.
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
They'll just kill him.
Yeah, just kill him. And the musical box is drenched in the blood of his children.
That made me laugh.
What it's annoying me about Satan now, I said earlier,
Mhm.
he starts off, he's a bit wolfish and sexy.
Mhm.
He's giving glowers. He now goes like New York gangster.
This
he
is
becomes
why
quite earthy. He's like,
I
you know what I'm
hate-
talking about.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
And he goes, yeah, you're upsetting me now. You don't want to see me upset.
Yeah, but well, here's the thing. What are you going to do? Historically, Satan, you might
yeah,
influence
yeah.
someone. He's like an ex-cop that's
Yeah,
killed
yeah,
people. I
yeah,
fucking do it for
yeah.
real. You're
But
all talk.
You're all talk. But he gives him the kind of sales talk.
Mhm.
God, he says he's the greatest underachiever of all
Oh,
time.
I hate.
He's just got good public relations.
See, when they try
He
to make
goes,
Satan
tell
say
me what
things
you
like
want,
that.
what you really, really want. That's what he says to him. I want you to go to hell.
Oh, the script. I'm done.
Hell comes to you.
See what I mean? You beat me to it. Hell comes to you.
And he shoots him.
Done.
And you get these little bullet puckers, like little anuses. And they just
go.
go. So he's immune to bullets.
Yes.
So why did he need the striker fucking security team?
It doesn't make any sense.
Just so Arnie gets involved.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
better if Arnie had been a priest in this.
That would have been interesting.
Big fucking massive guy.
And he just pulls off his collar one day and pulls out guns and shit. Yeah.
He's
Holy
wife,
guns.
He's an ex-cop, becomes a priest. That would have been better.
That would have been nice, yeah.
But
he
he's
throws him out the
getting
window.
he's giving him a height. Arnie gets his head kicked in so many times in this film. And
You think it would leave a lasting mark, but it
He's
doesn't seem to.
Yeah, he does that thing. I love how he goes, ah! And you see his big, like, Bavarian
He's
teeth,
got
big
huge
Austrian
teeth, yeah.
huge teeth, gaps between them. And he's like, come on, stop messing around. And he reaches down.
Because
And
he's hanging out the window at this point with bleeding hands.
bleeding hand. He goes,
Yeah, I'll do it.
And he
But
tosses
tricks
Satan
him.
off.
He tosses him off. But he tricks Satan because Satan's going to help him. It's so stupid.
Yeah, Satan would be shrewder than that.
He would figure
He's the
this
master
out.
of lies, the king of
Yes.
misrule. You know what I mean?
So he throws
And he
him out,
does
lands on a
he
car.
does like an untouchable bit, lands in the car.
The car
And
explodes.
Arnie pulls himself in his and it's like he's a way to make himself a cup of tea.
He just fixes his hand
He's
and he's
like,
like, oh, well,
well.
that's fine.
And it's Kevin
Knock at the
Pollak.
door.
I thought you were dead. No, he said, 1 second. If I hadn't, again, I'd
Yeah,
nearly
it would have
got
been
him.
fucking dead.
Okay. And he says, oh, you're not you. Yeah, I thought, oh.
No, where are we?
No, he's speaking
I've
to Kevin Pollak. You didn't watch the film. He goes, "Stop being a pussy." Just
Oh, yeah.
a scratch.
Because he shoots him just to make sure he's
Wings
him.
him,
Yeah,
wings
and he's
him.
like, that was a bit sore.
Yeah, I'll go and get the striker car, and we'll go to. He says, "Where is the lassie?" And he says, "Oh, she's in St John's Church."
At the church,
Says
but the
Joseph.
bishop turns up, and he's got the
He's just-
Vatican hit squad, so they're going to kill the
It's
girl.
more bad but she sees them. Oh no, because they've got these nifty little
The wee
roses. We have
yeah, they're nice.
Quite nice.
So he lifts the dagger, and he's about to
They're
stab
like the
her.
Inquisition.
Yeah, and pa-ting! Arnie shoots the dagger and breaks it in half.
rubber
And shoots
gun.
again, it fires at
He
his
said,
hand.
"I could do this all
But
day."
you notice that it's always like this because they don't want him shooting priests.
No,
So
it
there's-
would look bad.
It
He
doesn't
will
look
have
good.
been brought up a Catholic, Arnie. Maybe he'd have had a problem with it as well.
Shoot them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says, "We're not afraid to die. It's 1,000 years we've been training for this moment, Kim."
Yeah.
He says, "That's good because I'm not afraid to kill you." He's like, "Oh, so it's a bit of a..." Then we get the Satan earthquake again.
But before we get into that, do you notice in films that it's always Catholicism in scary films?
yeah.
Do you think that's the scariest of all the religions?
Well, no, they don't like to make Islam scary because that can have problems for you.
That'll kind of
Makes
backfire.
them nervous.
Yeah.
But, the Church of Scotland's so fucking boring.
That's the problem.
It's so
the
boring.
scariest one.
Well, no, they've got more. They've got the tradition and they've got the kind of mysticism of Catholicism. They've got the outfits.
Yeah,
It's
there's
a
not
bit
a-
dour.
In the
They've got
Church
the
of
sting,
Scotland,
yeah.
where it's like,
Oh yeah. See, if you look at the back of the church there, Satan's come calling. It's the end of the world.
so if you'd like to take an orderly line,
Yeah, we'll
remember social distancing.
I've got a flask of soup here if anybody's a wee bit peckish.
We could do a prayer.
Satan will be like,
but
"Oh,
it's
fuck this
raining."
law, I'm leaving you cunts alone."
That's true. Okay, you've made a good point.
Or the free churchers.
Oh, the free churchers.
I'd rather go to hell than be
the
in free church
churchers,
heaven.
I would say they're the scariest.
They don't like music, any music.
They don't like anything. Now,
Organ music's too sexy for them.
the Free Church of Scotland, for our international viewers, listeners, check them out. They're the weirdest bunch.
There's the Free Church headquarters in Glasgow is on this area, and it's these wrought iron fence in the front of all the buildings. It's like a Georgian thing. And outside the Free Church, they've removed the ornate spikes, and it's very plain.
This has got to be plain.
Because they
I
get
got
they're sexually
Up
aroused.
in the islands,
Uh-huh.
Isle of Lewis, it's all free church, right? And I was behind a funeral once,
Oh, dude.
and all the village come out and they pass the coffin like in a train track, a tank track sort of system of passing it. And I went, beep, 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 beep. Seriously, he's fucking dead. Holy shit. It was like a zombie attack on my car of all these old men.
Oh,
It was
and
quite
big
amazing.
hands, big nails.
They're all inbred.
Well, the lassie I share a studio with, she lives in Skye, and there's free churches there, and her mum and dad had been out for a walk, and they saw their neighbours. You didn't put washing out around.
No, on a Sunday, don't do anything. I got shouted
And
at, yeah.
She saw them cutting grass in their garden. She's like, "What are you doing?" "We're making tea out of just grass clippings because they're not allowed tea or coffee or anything on a Sunday."
I was staying with a friend and she let me borrow the car for
Yeah.
the week.
Uh-huh.
So I thought at the end of the week, fill up a petrol, get the car clean, spotless, like new, waxed everything, make it nice, you know.
It's
And
very considerate.
but it was a Sunday,
Oh,
and someone, excuse me, do you know what day this is? And I went,
Tuesday.
and I wasn't sure. Like, and they went, it's Sunday. It's our Lord's Day. And I went, what does that mean? They went, well, you know the offence you're causing to people by washing a car. I went, listen here, you fucking cunt. And I picked up a
Sponge.
no, it wasn't a sponge.
A chamois.
It was a shovel and went running at the car, right? So I swear to God, he was gone 30 seconds.
Came back.
I get a phone call.
Uh-huh.
Right, it's my friend from the hospital she worked at going, did you just attack someone with a shovel? It's like,
The thing is, I don't think it's as bad now. Because in Skye, well, they built that bridge.
yeah,
It's died
That's
off.
changed
Young
it, but
folk are like,
up in Lewis-
they've got the internet now.
well, I was there, when was I out there? It was 2003 the last time I was seeing that
It's the
girl
level
there.
of control.
And it was still really like that.
Aye.
It's pretty heavy.
Each year it'll get slightly less.
I'm
like,
hoping
I think
so.
you can buy bevy up
well,
there.
a family moved into
People
the...
forget Scotland. You couldn't get pubs at Sunday.
No, that's it. But in Stornoway, the garage opened up on a Sunday, and it was like Father Ted. There was two ministers
Yeah.
protesting it, but
They
nobody
can't,
gave a
they,
fuck.
They can't really, no, they can't do it. Where have we
Big
got
time.
to?
Oh, right, okay, where about?
So Satan appears
The earthquake.
And they're like, you can't be in here, Satan. He says, I can stand the pain. How much pain can you stand? And they're like, oh. And he sticks a crucifix through one guy's, right through his napper.
Like his head.
And then he goes down to the bad priest. Well, he thinks he's doing the right thing. And he's down in front of him, and he just twists his head right around.
Oh, that's a nice bit. Twisting his head clean off. That's good.
And then they're out in the street running, Arnold and Christine. And here's one. If I was a Satanist, I'd expect to have night vision. But they've all got torches.
They've got torches. But it makes for a good shot. But there should have been like...
That's
they should have put smoke or something.
Yeah.
And then it's all coming through.
It didn't need to be darker. You barely see anything.
Oh, that's true.
He's a...
So where about that? Pollock turns up. Because Schwarzenegger's getting beat up.
No,
have we jumped past it?
We've jumped. No, that Arnie's feet... What's
you didn't
happening?
Watch us.
I did.
No, because...
Oh no, they get Arnie.
They beat the fuck out of him.
They're beating the shit out of him. He's putting up a bit of fight. They're
Kevin
clobbering
Pollock
him.
Turns up.
Says, get in the car.
Get in the car. Drives away. And then...
No, he leaves. He wouldn't let Arnie
Won't
in the
let
car.
him in the car.
And Arnie's like face is pressed up. He's crawling all
Pollock's
over.
a bad guy. He's on Satan's side. That was sad.
Satan's there. Well, to be honest, he didn't have much of a choice.
He didn't have much of a choice.
Burnt alive. And he said, look, you continue burning alive.
Yeah.
But he's saying, I'm going to hurt you so bad, you're going to beg to die, but I'm not going to let you die. And he fucking crucifies him
up on the side of a building.
But not anywhere specific, anywhere particular.
Well, the thing is,
just
right,
in the street.
he says, you're going to watch what's going to happen.
From an alleyway.
You'd see he's looking at a wall.
You'll see two pigeons fucking.
That's
some
it.
hobo taking a slash.
It's terrible.
He's a showboater, Satan. It's a mistake he makes. He should have just got on with it. It's Friday, December the 31st, 1999. The clock is just ticking. This is his golden hour. This is his window of opportunity.
The Pope on wheels.
The very last day
the Micro Machines
of the
Pope.
first 2,000 years. He has the girl. All is lost.
All is lost. And he goes,
we must have faith.
Pizza, calzone.
Some priests have survived. So Satan killed all the red phalange, the Inquisition guys, but they left Steiger and all that. They just hid down the basement.
So
they fish him down, and they're going to help him. So Eddie's been sleeping for a spell.
And he wakes up and they're all, I was when I'm in a run for the bussy.
There's a street party going on, and they've got an inflatable. I was to shoot. Is that an inflatable God, or is it an inflatable Mick Fleetwood? He says this.
Mick Fleetwood and God are very difficult to tell apart.
And he goes, he's going to do what he does best.
Mm-hmm.
Goes down to Stryker headquarters, and he does the classic Arnie.
Gets all the
fetishizing the guns. It's like graphics, and he's to find the Stryker car.
I don't know what's happened to Schwarzenegger in this, because he does know how to fire a gun. He's trained for all these years.
I watched Commando.
But when he picks this gun up, he doesn't hold it by the pistol grip. He holds it by the whole top of the gun.
Maybe confused.
There's something not right.
No.
Yeah, it's a really strange way of holding a gun.
So he finds the car because it's a locator thing in it, because it's a Stryker car.
Yeah, Stryker car.
And this is a Satan club. And it's like the Mardi Gras.
It's an old cinema.
Would you not have something better? Would it not have been better if they'd been in like a big
skyscraper and you can't get up to it? It's protected.
And he can fight his way up like the Matrix. No.
Blasting.
It's a grotty, dark, stinky place. And he encounters the blind gatekeeper who's got his eyes sewed up for no reason.
It looks
you've got
cool.
Somebody on the door,
you want them to be able to
have
see.
eyes, and he sniffs them,
and he goes,
and he smells a black heart. Revenge.
You're going to do something bad.
What does that smell like? So he lets him in.
Patchouli.
Oh, and the whole place is lit with either oil lamps or wooden faggots. Could you not have electricity?
Can we explain what you've just said?
A wooden faggot is a bundle of wood.
It's a bundle of wood, thank you.
And they're listening to death metal.
I hate that.
That's on the butt.
If Satan's going to have a music,
it'll be techno.
It's going to be country music. It's going to be modern country music, the way it's bastardised. Garth. It's going to be Garth fucking Brooks.
What about Garth Brooks when he did a cool guy?
When he became Satan. Yeah.
It's kind of Anton DeVay stuff, all that Satan-y stuff. He was a better showman.
Oh, this is so bad.
There's some poor bastard has had to light all those Yankee candles, like thousands of them.
You never see the person.
Never.
If I was in a film, I'm always an NPC.
You're lighting one and it doesn't light.
Someone
and you have
opens
to
the
go
door.
back. Fuck.
You go, listen, we're trying to bring back Satan here, you pricks. I've got a job to do. You've got a job to do. Shut the fucking
So
door.
he's sneaking through the crowd, and Marge spots him. She's like,
I could see him.
She goes across, and then Satan's in about the lassie, and I bet his breath stinks.
Oh, it's not good.
You can't resist because you don't want to resist. Give yourself to me.
Oh, God, yeah.
And the acolytes, he shoots, Arnie shoots Marge, and then just starts blasting.
Just
They're not very resolute, the Satanists. They're fucking panicking, and they run, they scatter. Hey, no one move. He's got the lassie or I'll kill the girl. So it's like Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
You're bluffing. You're not going to kill the girl. Oh, I'm going to fucking kill the girl.
Kill her, yeah.
Okay? Don't do it, Bobby. You're better than this because Bobby comes out to shoot him. I loved that scene. It was a bit of pathos.
And he
can't do it, man. Okay, Bobby touches him. Burns
to death, yeah.
He appeals to his decency and he pays for it. And it's a full burn.
Oh,
It's practical special effects in this.
It's a good one.
There's not a lack of fire in this film. There's plenty of fire.
There's too much fire. And the bit that I hate as well,
Grenade
launcher. That's a 40mm grenade launcher, by the way.
Oh, so that's sizable. Okay,
That's
so
sizable.
90, okay.
90 is a bit too... 90mm.
So he blows a hole in the wall. They almost get run down by a train.
Yeah.
The guy's like, fuck, I always knocked you people down. Luckily, it's an empty train. He goes on. She goes, I want to be useful. He kind of quickly shows her how to use a gun, which she then shoots a Satanist right in the brain with.
Hated all this point.
You hated all this bit.
Hated all of it.
It's a New York subway driver guy. He's a bit like this.
So at the front.
Get the fuck out of here.
And he's like, I'll go. And he's running.
He's standing there. Satan's
on the tracks.
He's got a cloak on.
He has a cloak with a collar.
He's
it's
looking
like
one of those guys who are the Omega Man.
Yes, it's rubbish.
Runs
it's
him
so
down.
bad.
They think they've got away with it. And then his hand
comes through the thing, and then you hear him on top of the train. Now, you hear footsteps on top of the train.
I know.
Above the train, it's about this gap.
Aye.
So how's he standing up?
Oh yeah, that's right. He's skulking.
He's
so tough.
His shoes are
He's
doing it on their own.
And up above at the street level, Satan just goes past
through the road.
through the cobble.
I fucking hated this.
Hey, then he punches straight through the train driver.
Right through his
That's
heart.
a very Terminator move.
I don't
Arnie
like it.
And then they separate the trains, and Arnie does a leap. He's running right out of peg. Pulls himself in. Satan's coming, and he does this cloaked leap. And he shoots him.
Shoots him with a grenade launcher.
Bang!
But this is the thing. What stops Satan? Guns. Because they're saying guns won't have an effect. Now Satan was bulletproof, but now he's in
flameproof.
bits.
Yeah, he's
just falling apart.
His
ribs are out.
It's not sticking to its own logic, its own rules.
That's right.
He's looking oozy. There's a lot of ooze.
Yes, it's goopy.
He says, "How can you hope to defeat me? You are but a man, and I am forever." And they go back to the church again. It's a different church.
Oh, this is a more dramatic church.
It clears it. They run like Satanists.
They run, everyone.
Christians and Satanists behave very similarly when faced with machine gun fire.
They run away.
Pathetic. Yeah. It's like, and then the Satanists are coming. So all the Christians go out the back door, and the Satanists are coming in. They're trying to get.
They're getting the front
door. It's
door.
like Dundee when the pub's open. They're
Same
like,
thing.
And he uses
But Satan leaves the body at this point because the body's wrecked. It's in pieces.
It's in.
And now he's Predator mode again. Ugh.
He can fly now.
It's so bad.
It's
bad. I hate it.
And Arnie's like that. He's still got his doubts, but then he looks at some incredibly kitsch religious art, and he has a
he's like, oh,
faith.
wait
It's
a
an
minute.
epiphany.
Yeah.
And you see this weird statue of
It's like an
angel
cherubic sort of.
with a big fucking
sword.
I think that sword's going to
come in. Yeah.
It's well polished.
So now
he doesn't need
earthquake.
Satan comes in, and Arnie's like, "Don't need the gun." He said, "I just need my big Christian balls."
No. He looks at Jesus and goes,
just
puts the gun down.
Just
Because
need the
Jesus
ball.
goes,
Yeah.
you don't need guns. You need other weapons.
Please, God, help me. Give me strength. Give me strength. And then Satan appears. He's kind of like David Copperfield. He makes all the
but all the pews. There's a pew wave.
How does a wax candle go like there's a gas tap in it?
Stupid.
There's big polystyrene masonry chunks. They're falling down. The
Opens
stained
to the
glass
stars,
is exploding.
explodes.
And then Big Shagger Satan appears, looking like one of the aliens out of Independence Day. Big wrinkly face.
Oh,
it's not a good Satan.
It's not a good Satan.
And
it's
it
a
shags him
terrible
right in
Satan.
the chest. It just goes right
like that, and he's dead.
His big Austrian heart's just filled with Satan.
But then you see him wake up.
He's the
and
vessel.
Christine runs to him. He goes,
But he's got that
we've
wolfish
won.
look.
We've won. He's gone.
Because
Gets
he's
up.
become a satanic seed delivery system.
That's right. And he's got Christine now, and he starts dragging her towards.
He's looking
the,
sleazy, is
yeah.
he? He's just going to do her on the
He's
phone.
going to do her, which is horrible.
Jericho, Jerry, stop, please.
Stop.
You're better
And
than this.
And then he does his fighting, like
You're better.
Commander Data when he was trying to fight his emotions in TNG.
You know when Superman's fighting himself, when it becomes nicotine Superman, he's
Superman
like,
2.
yeah. He sees his spike.
And there's only one
You're
way
stronger than he is. It
to
just
do it.
plunges it right through his
Now
sternum.
this jump is edited in like 14 jumps.
That's the-
He's carried along on string. It's green screen. It's terrible.
Big mouth open like a big. He's like a horse ready for a sugar lump. Those teeth.
So
And the fire just spews out his chest.
Satan's there and then is drawn back into hell because his sacrifice has ended Satan.
But Arnie's death, he just kind of gets sleepy time.
And he goes, and his wife and kid turns up, and Christine sees them, and goes, oh, and then he dies.
And then he droops like an Austrian sausage.
And then he does. But then Christine picks up his giant meaty hand and
It'll taste
Hugs
like
it.
those smoothies he made earlier in the film.
it's like smells like rotten hair covered pizza.
And the music reaches a crescendo. The end.
The end.
The millennium passes. Well, we were around
Rubbish.
the millennium. Nothing seemed to
Nothing
happen.
happened. I was really looking forward to the Millennium Bug.
No, because Richard Madeley was concerned about it, so I thought this is nothing
It's
to
not gonna
worry
be anything to
about.
worry about. It's
What a fucking pile of hokum.
shit.
Yeah.
Badly made, badly acted, badly written, badly
I think
edited.
this was a film that, like I said,
Terrible.
palate cleanser. This was a film that just, I think, troubled production. The
you can
previous
see it.
the previous director was a guy I didn't even write his name down, but he Marcus Nispel,
Okay.
and he got shamed out of the production because they found he'd a 64-page manifesto of his requirements.
Oh my God.
So he was a German guy, I think.
Oh, here we go.
So they got rid of him, and then they got in Peter Hyams. And
How many roids out
2.
of 10? I give it 1.
there's 2 roids. But no, Udo Kier is always brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Miriam Margolyes fighting Arnie is the best
I
bit
give
of
it
him.
1 roid because it had promise.
Oh no, it's
just a mess.
It's a hoary old chestnut. It's a load
But
of
this
shit.
cost 100 million. It looks like a budget film.
It's the
Utter shit.
if Satan had been like a stop motion Satan, can the Beast out of Howard the Duck? The alien out of Howard
Yes.
the Duck. If it had been like that,
Like stop motion, good.
if this had special effects like true Total Recall,
Oh yeah.
but it's, the CGI is
It's just
fucking terrible.
rubbish.
The Apple thing's a neat wee trick. I like that one.
Things like that are okay, but it's very of its time what they
Yeah.
were doing with Satan, and I just didn't like
And
that.
as you can see, it's just Arnie's tired. And did he ever really have a true hit after this?
No, no.
He
this
had
is the end.
films, but he made big films. But was what's the one where he plays like a guy that cleans up after people fakes their death? He shoots
Oh,
the
that was
alligator.
before that.
Was it?
Yeah,
Shoots the luggage and goes, he shoots
A
the alligator.
razor.
Was that before this?
yeah, that was before this.
So really, this
This was at the time of the 6th day and just
the 6
rubbish.
days, the clone one.
Yeah,
That's got quite
futuristic
good.
helicopter pilot. It's just rubbish.
There's a bit in that where the clone kills the clone,
yeah,
and I
it's,
quite like that.
nah,
bit.
there's nothing. He's
No,
done
he's
nothing
just
good.
done. He does maybe kind of cameos now in other films. Yeah, it's
Not
a
any
shame.
good. It's
He
not
had a
any
good run,
Oh, he had a good run. You can't take
but like
that
I
from
said,
him.
he's young in this. This was fucking 22 years ago.
Oh, it's mental.
Jesus, fuck.
Jesus, man.
I went to cinema to see this because I'm
yeah,
a
so
big
did
Arnie.
I, and I hated it then.
I remember being disappointed. There are better. Have you seen Prophecy with Christopher Walken? That's an angel-y one.
Yeah.
Better film.
Yeah, I like that.
The one with Denzel Washington, where Satan's going. It's got John Goodman in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bit. It's a bit of something
That's a
about
bit, but
it.
that's got the look of this, and the whole
Yeah.
everything tried to be like Seven. Everything had that dirty look.
Nothing ever looks as good as Seven, because Seven's a dark film, but it's beautiful.
But the thing is with Fincher, all his films do look like that.
Yeah.
That is his style.
Beautiful.
I don't know what cinematographer he uses or that, but they're fucking good.
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good.
No, but
really,
this,
really
this,
good.
yeah, it's a
pile of shite.
Pile.
You
Yeah.
would be a Vatican hitman.
Well,
I think you're qualified.
Yeah, I'm not religious. I'd have to read it off. I wouldn't know the last rites off by heart.
No, you could
I'd have a
write it on your hand.
No.
Did I ever tell you?
laminated sheet.
I'm not going to say me, but someone I know was arrested, and they were getting questioned.
Oh, jeez.
And this cop that we're talking to knew everything about them without even. And I was like, how the fuck does he know about me or whoever this person was, right? But I'd been writing all my notes from the day on my hand.
Oh, you dear.
Right, and I'm just sitting there, and they're going, and what about, say, this person, Christine? What about Christine? I was like, how the fuck?
That's some good police work.
That's good police work.
Arnie,
all written on my hand.
That's the shit Arnie would have pulled on you. Yeah, but I'm sticking by my assertion. It's a palate cleanser.
No, it's not.
Next week we'll watch something good.
Oh, we could watch any shite and it'd be brilliant to this. I would be a Satanist zombie.
No, you'd be somebody suffering from stigmata from your athlete's feet.
Oh God, that is stigmata.
Strapped to a bed and just babbling nonsense.
This film is shite. We cannot recommend it. It's not even good bad. It's just a waste of time.
Yeah, because it's a Hollywood film. You can tell it's Hollywood.
And if you're a fan of Schwarzenegger, don't watch it because
it's sad.
It's
sad.
It just shows you how wrong things can go.
It's sad, yeah.
You think they should have just shelved this?
People say he's a terrible actor. The thing is, he's a good performer, and he's been in films where he's actually good in it. But this is acting. They're asking him to act emotion,
and it's not good.
And he's lost his wife and kid, and that's not good. Have you ever seen? There's a Bruce Willis film, a remake of a Death Wish. And there's a bit. Have you seen it? He goes into the room and they pull back the sheet, and he's not sure if it's his wife that's been killed or his daughter. And he pulls back the sheet and it's his wife, and his emotional range. It's just the worst thing you've ever seen.
Bruce Willis
has
given up years ago.
Bruce Willis and Robert De Niro
just given up.
Shocking.
They just give up.
But you've got to remember, Robert De Niro's doing shit. He got paid more for Rocky and Bullwinkle than he did for Taxi Driver.
And it's just a job.
Money.
It's just a job.
There's something good about that. Bruce Willis wouldn't have sit there and go, acting is this craft.
No, he wouldn't.
It's like, no, it's a job.
It's just stupid.
Pile of shit.
But the thing is,
don't stop. You've got enough money. Stop.
If you're not going to put something into it, because there was clips from him recently that are, on YouTube, and he's in this film where he's in space. It's a very recent one.
It's on Netflix. It's shocking.
And he's just that's whatever.
He's so disinterested.
Yeah.
But the thing is, TV's vibrant just now. If he wanted to, if he could be arsed, he could get a really good TV show.
Does everyone forget that he was a comic actor? He was great at it. Stop thinking of him as Die Hard.
Bruce Willis killed the Arnies of this world.
Yes.
Because Bruce Willis was the action hero everyman.
He was Homer Simpson with a gun.
So the big guys, the Schwarzeneggers, the Stallones, they got finished off. Bruce Willis killed them. It's a shame. I remember him, what was his first film? Blind Date? Yeah.
Right.
He was in that Moonlight and the old Sybil Shepherd.
He was great in that, but he had a charming light touch.
He also produced some wonderful music. Under the Boardwalk.
Bruno.
Under the Boardwalk. That was a hit.
That was.
Have you ever, speaking of bad music, have you ever seen when Paul McCartney did stuff with Eddie Murphy? He produced his album.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Eddie Murphy sold out just big concerts. He thought he was like Prince.
Eddie Murphy in real life seems to be just relatively insane because he's had this massive
Did he not
fame
have a
from being
chef
very
for
young.
his iguana?
Really?
I think he did.
I mean, when you watch him in Raw, he's like 23 or something.
Yeah.
He's that age in Beverly Hills Cop. He's just a kid. And he's had this all his life. But I think Eddie Murphy is a wonderful top-class actor. I think he's brilliant.
But he started to take himself seriously.
But he's always done that. And that's not
because
But the charm of Beverly Hills Cop.
Beverly Hills Cop 3 though is terrible.
It is rubbish.
Because he stopped being funny. He thought, I'm serious.
Yeah, don't do it.
He got in his own way.
I agree.
Whereas, like, I like 48 Hours. He's really good in that.
Name is Dolomite, is it?
Yeah. No, he's a good actor.
Brilliant.
What's
I
that
think
one where he's like,
actor.
he plays like numbskulls. His body's full of little people. It's like an alien. He's a spaceship.
Oh,
I've never seen it.
Yeah, stuff like that.
No,
I think he's he's charming.
There is something very just sad about this end of days. It's end of
career.
End of career. Yeah,
It is. This is rubbish.
he's a lovely guy, Arnie.
See
I
when
like
you see
him. He's got a tiny little goat and a donkey, and he just
watch the making of Commando.
Oh yeah.
And in Commando, he's this lump, but behind scenes, he's really, really funny, really charming. All the crew fucking love him.
Bit gropey.
He's a bit gropey.
But no, But
As
no
he
rapey.
said, Eaton's not cheating.
Yeah. But people like him who worked with him. And the thing is, people underestimate him, think he's stupid.
No, he's not. Not even close to being stupid.
Him and Stallone are two very smart guys.
Yeah, no, they're not even close to being stupid.
Stallone's like 74 years old. He's on some fucking major growth hormones. You should see the
I
size.
think he was banned from Australia because they caught the growth hormone in his luggage.
Oh, Jesus
So
Christ.
it's like, but that's part of the job.
You can't grow muscle in your 70s.
No, you just can't. And
You can't.
Huge.
He's
And I
gigantic.
think he's away to do another Expendables again. And
Yeah. He's become very weird. The last Rambo film was just extraordinarily reactionary and horror. Kind of, they all are. But this one was so unpleasant.
It was unpleasant. Although the one he done in 2008, that was
The
in
violent
Burma,
one.
The violent one, I loved that.
Yeah, there's bits of that
Because it was violent. It was good.
It was
Be
just
violent.
violent, yeah.
Yeah, it is. But the last one was...
I watched a Liam Neeson film recently, The Ice Road. That's another guy's career that's just finished. It's run out of
he
ice
does
road.
anything, yeah.
But he's so, like, aged in it.
Yeah.
They just need to take their money and stop being action heroes.
Stop being action heroes.
Be an actor.
There's going to be so many
Be Christopher
people...
Plummer. Christopher Plummer did some of his best work when he's in his 90s.
Christopher Plummer in the Girl with the Dragon.
Brilliant.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He steals that film.
He's in the... Have you seen him
Talk
in
about gravitas. We use that word a lot, but
have you
Jesus.
seen him in the film Inside Man?
No,
The
I've not
bank
seen
robbery.
that.
He's in that. Fucking fantastic. Be old.
Be old.
Be
It's
an
great.
old actor. Play Arnold Schwarzenegger. Can you still?
I mean,
try
I
to
could still play someone in their teens.
Oh no, but we're I was never running about doing stunts, but like if you're trying to do it now, you'd injure yourself.
Oh God, yeah.
Ken, poor Harrison Ford.
You seen my leg brace?
Going down a step, he breaks all these kneecaps.
That's
his
true,
toes.
because he's in recovery at the moment, isn't he?
Poor
From swinging his arm, dislocated or something.
Okay, I am going to recommend Miriam Margolyes. If anything, it shows you what some HRT can do.
Oh Jesus!
You can fight Arnie.
Yeah.
A weekend
I wouldn't
Arnie.
recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it. It's rubbish.
Oh, I bet
Ladies.
these fuckers will still watch it.
They'll
though.
watch it because we've watched it. Now they want to see the pain that we've gone through. They like the pain.
Get some
They like
tissues.
it.
Get a big box of tissues
Oh, yeah.
for the sad. See if
The
you can
sad.
squeeze out a tear like Arnold couldn't.
No, you couldn't.
His big muscly eyelid couldn't cry.
Ladies and gentlemen, until next time,
Wash
I
your big
apologise.
satanic-
I apologise
Wash your
for this
satanic
one.
balls.
Oh, it's
Wash them in a font of
it's
holy
terrible.
water.
Oh, did I? Oh God, that was a bad edit.
Shocking.
Until next time, later.
Ta-da, ta-da.